This is my sculpture. It's a cat. I made it with clay. I'm not really sure how I came up with the idea, but I like him. Any questions? Good job, buddy. Good job. Hello. Today, we'll be talking about presentations. They're not always easy, and they're not always pretty. But there are a few tips I can give you to make sure that your presentation is not a dud. Let's take a look. The first thing you'll need when presenting an artwork is a good title. A good title is not obvious, and it's not boring. For example, if I called this clay cat sculpture as the title, that's not really a title, that's just me telling you what this is. Your title should be somehow creative and should give the audience an insight into the vibe and the kind of ideas behind your sculpture. As I think about possible names or titles for this sculpture besides clay cat sculpture, the other obvious one that comes to mind is Nyan Cat, because it is a sculpture of the Nyan Cat. But it'd be better if I could come up with a title that was even more unique or personal than that. How about Barry, the blueberry Nyan Cat? What do you think, Barry? Meow. He likes it. Once you have a title for your artwork, you need to tell the audience the skills you have that allowed you to create that artwork. That'll give you some credibility. Name the skills and define them. For example, to make this Nyan Cat, I used a slab building, where you take a hunk of clay and you roll it out into a pancake and then cut out the shapes that you need. I also used the scratch and attach method, where you put one piece to another by scratching it with this little kind of saw looking thing, dabbing with water, and then pressing the pieces together. And I also used carving to carve in the little details there by taking a little metal or plastic tool and digging out the little shapes that I needed for the face. Now that your audience knows you've got skills, it's time to give them some insight into your creative process. Tell them the story of how you came up with the idea for your artwork. When you do this, think of yourself as a storyteller. Make sure your story is interesting and specific, and you'll have the audience enthralled. So there I was, a typical Tuesday evening, lounging in the bubble bath, trying to come up with what I was going to sculpt tomorrow, and then from down the hallway, I heard it. My little brother yelling at my mom. "Mom, we're out of blueberry Pop-Tarts!" I was like, how can I focus with all this racket? And then it hit me. A blueberry Nyan Cat. The sculpture of the century. So far, the presentation's going great. You've told them about your skills. You've told them about your creative process. Now you need to tell them the honest story of how you actually sculpted or created your artwork. To do this, tell them about the failures and the successes of your artwork, and again, be a good storyteller. Now I'll be honest with you guys, sculpting this Nyan Cat wasn't all rainbows and blueberry frosting. The first time I tried to cut out the cat's head, it looked like a gopher. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning, meticulously trying to get that shape right. Eventually, I got it. Now, the audience is with you. They see that you're a human too, and you're not perfect. But don't end on that note. Tell them about your greatest success before you leave the stage. Now, my biggest success in this artwork, and the thing I'm most proud of about Barry, is his rainbow tail. The coils are neat, the colors are perfect. I think that was the final thing that really took him over the top. Any questions? Yeah, right here, me, over here. Yes, you sir, the gentleman in the front. Yes, well, it's really more of a comment than a question, but I just wanted to say that you and Barry are a huge inspiration to me, and that was one of the most beautiful presentations I've ever seen. Thank you all very much. That was a good presentation, and yours will be great too. Just remember, when you present an artwork, come up with a good title, break down your skills, and most importantly, tell a story about your creative process and your successes and failures. If you do, the audience will be inspired and captivated. Get a plan together and then share it with the world. Let's do it.